Alright guys, hey, welcome to this week's episode of Top 5. So this week, we're going to be looking at Sega Genesis. So, yes, Sega Genesis. I had the Sega Genesis the same time I had the Super Nintendo. So, I got mine as the Model 2. I went out and bought it with, I saved up my money when I saw the commercials for it. So that's when I got my Sega Genesis. It was shortly after I had my Super Nintendo. Or it may have even been a little bit before my Super Nintendo. It's hard to tell back then, everything's so close together. But, yeah, so I bought my Sega Genesis Model 2 myself. Back then I didn't realize it was the Model 2. I just thought it was a commercial for a new console by Sega. So I'm like, alright, let me get this. So I got it back then. Now remember, these are my top 5 childhood games. So these aren't my favorite 5 of all time, from adult or whenever I played them. This is the 5 that I owned. I owned about 15, I think. I'd have to count them. I still have them. But I think I owned about 15. So, you know, for 15 games for Sega Genesis back then, for a kid, that was a lot. So the fact that I had 5 that I really liked, that I can remember playing all the time, I'm happy. In my mind, you know, if you play a system's only as good as the games you have with it. It doesn't matter how many games the system comes with or whatever. In my mind, if you have 10 great games you love for that system, you'll have fond memories of that system forever. That's what I tell my friends sometimes. They're like, oh, I want to get this thing. I'm like, but I don't want to waste the money. I'm like, it's only a waste if you don't get the right games for it. So make sure you get 10 games that you really love for it, and you'll always play the system. You'll love it. Like the Nintendo Wii U. You may see me look over here because that's where a lot of my games are on the wall. So, Nintendo Wii U. I don't care what anyone says. That system is awesome. They have their top 10 games make that system worth it. And maybe in the top 20. It's going to be a good system, a great system for as long as I own it. And I love it. The top 10 games I have for it are great. I might even do a video on it. Maybe even top 20 video, because if you take those top 20 games, for me, that system is one of the best of all time. Because the genre of the games that came out are the ones that I like. So it made the system a lot. You know, to me, if you want an old system and you're not sure if you want it, try to find 10 games you love about it, and that system will be a great memory to you, and you'll love playing it. Now, some people may disagree, but in my mind, if you have 10 great games for a system, that system's worth owning, because you're going to enjoy it. You know, I mean, if it's 10, like, all the same style game, yeah, you may get a little bored playing the same thing. But if it's 10 great games that you like playing, role-playing, platforming, fighting, then you have a system with a great collection right there, right off the bat. So yeah, to me, if you can get 10 great games for a console, you're happy. I'm happy. It'll be a great system. I'll have games to play with it, especially if they have replay value on top of that. So yeah, all right. So going on. So these are the games that I owned. In my mind, Sega Genesis might even be, in the games that I had as a kid, my favorite console of that generation. Like, yes, the Super Nintendo probably had my favorite games of that generation, like 2 or 3, but my overall collection of games that I think I had more games that I would go and play versus the Super Nintendo. I'd have to compare, but I believe the overall quality of games I had for the Genesis was better than Super Nintendo. I mean, I loved almost all my Super Nintendo games, but I think if I had to grade each one, the overall grade would probably be the Sega Genesis. So, these games, my favorite games from my childhood, they're all a little different. Slightly. I did have other favorite Genesis games when I was a kid, but I didn't own them, so I'm not putting them on this list. Those are games I may have rented or played at a friend's house. So yeah, let's start off. First on the list, NBA Hang Time. Now, I love this game. It was great. I think I got it because I asked for NBA Jam, and my mother went to the store for Christmas, and this is what they gave her. I'm okay with that. This game was awesome. Great 2-on-2 basketball. It gave me what I was looking for. Cool character, build, the teams you wanted to play. Just fun, excitement. And you know what? Anyone could come over and play this and enjoy it, which I thought was great. I didn't even really watch basketball that much as a kid. I liked Michael Jordan, I liked the Bulls, but I only played the games, and this fit that need. So yeah, NBA Hang Time. And yes, cover, childhood, fail. I got wet or something, and I put a case on top of it when I was a kid, and I remember peeling it off, and that was the best I could do without ruining it more. Yeah, that's why I always hated these paper ones. Or cardboard. Alright, next up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. Yeah. What can I say? Love this game. Played it a lot. It may not have been like Street Fighters or Mortal Kombat, but I didn't have a fighting game at the time. So this was my first one that I owned, and I have to say, I wasn't disappointed. I have to say, though, I was disappointed when I first put it in the console because I thought I was getting a Turtles in Time type game, or a or a Turtles 1 type game, but it wasn't. Imagine if I did, because I think Hyperstone is the one for the Sega Genesis. But yeah, this game, Turtle Tournament Fighter. No Street Fighter has ever seen fighters or fighting like this. Great tagline. Fun. 1 to 2 players. And it allowed me to be my favorite characters, Turtles. I loved Teenage Mutant Turtles as a kid. So this was good to me. I liked it. I would say if you've never played a fighter, if you like fighting games and you've never played this one, try it out. It's not the same as Street Fighter, so don't try to think of it as it is. I mean, yeah, it's a 2D fighter, but it handles itself. It plays. It's fun. Cool backdrops. Dimension X, planets. It's great. Try it out. So yeah, we'll put that there. Next up. Kind of a weird thing, because it's been on many consoles, but Miss Pac-Man. I love this game. Me and my mother used to play this game all the time. It took us months to beat this game. So in this one, they have 36 wild and crazy mazes. So we used to play, they had different modes. And you could play arcade mode, mini mode, large map. We played the medium map, and it had 36 different levels. And it had a story with it, which I thought was cool. It told you the story of how Mrs. Pac-Man and Mr. Pac-Man met and married and had kids. Spoiler alert. It was awesome. We played this all the time. I remember playing this for months before we finally got all the way to the final level. Because there's no save points. You died, you died. So you had to start all over. And 36 levels of Pac-Man can be hard. You can earn free guys by getting a lot of points, but after you get to so many points, you get no more free guys. So you kind of want to not get a lot of points in the early stages to earn those points in the harder stages to get the free guys. Unless you're going for a perfect score or something, but if you're not that good at the game, don't get any of the ghosts, don't get any of the power-ups until you get to level 10 and beyond. So that way you're getting your free guys later on. So yeah, Miss Pac-Man, I love this game. This is probably even on my top 5 list of all my Genesis games. I know it's been on everything, but this version, nostalgia, what can you say? Alright, so these two are what sold me on the Genesis. I wanted to play it, or at least the first one that I'm going to show you. So, let me see if the camera's recording. Alright, it is recording, but it was almost done recording, so I'm glad I stopped. I really need to get a camera that's more than 10 minutes. Okay, or 9 minutes, or whatever it's on. So, first up, Sonic 2. This is the first Sonic game that I owned and I played. See, not for resale, came with the console. I played one at a cousin's house, and I think that helped me decide, I want to get a Sega Genesis. And I looked and I saw, they're coming out. It's coming out with a box edition. Okay, sweet. Saved up my money, got that. It was just fun. It was different than Mario. It was fast paced. It was fun to explore. I liked how you could go up levels, down levels. So unlike Mario, it wasn't just straight across. You felt like you were exploring, or you could backtrack and find things. That was great. I love that. I know in Super Mario World you kind of had like, you could go to secret levels up there, but it didn't feel the same as Sonic. Sonic just gave it a whole new level, and it was hard, like really hard. I don't think I ever beat Sonic 2. I think I always get to the plane, and then I die. Maybe I should do a Let's Play and try to beat this game once. Yeah, so Sonic 2, loved it. Yeah, there's not more I can say. I mean, most people know what Sonic is. Do have to say Sonic Mania? Great game. I love that. That really felt like I was playing this all over again with new levels. Alright, so the next one, I kind of, you know, I don't want to put this on my list. Or do I? It was hard to compete between the two. But yeah, okay. Sonic 3. When this came out, you could save. You had Tails. You could... Just the levels were larger, more of them. Just the world felt better. It felt like 2 perfected. I know some people like 2 better. I like them both equally. It's whichever one I'm in the mood. But I like this one because you could save. I could play my level, save it, come back. It was great. Yeah. Sonic 3. It's a great game. New attitude. Gotta love the 90s. And then Sonic and Knuckles. Like, really? Just made this game even better. And then Sonic and Knuckles I won't put on my top 5 just because it was fun, but it wasn't as fun as this one. And the fact you could put Knuckles in this just made the game even more bizarre. So, Sonic 3, right there. Alright guys, so those are my top 5. After I'm done doing my Childhood Edition tops, I'm going to do my overall top 5 up to this point. There's tons of games out there that I've never played, so those top 5s will just be my top 5s that I've ever played. Now, as I try to go through the backlogs of games on emulators or borrowing the games to find out which ones I want to add to my collection, you know, that list may change, and those can be future on videos. But right now, these are my top childhood videos, which will never change, and then the next videos will be my top 5 of all Genesis, Super Nintendos, stuff like that. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. Hopefully, people are watching. Thanks for subscribing, liking the video, sharing, and commenting. It's fun to see that people are watching my videos and, you know, talking about the things that they love. It's fun growing and seeing what other people like. Like I said, I'm doing these videos because I like to talk about it, but I don't really have the friends locally that are into that type of stuff, so I don't really talk about things like that. Every once in a while we'll have like a little, you know, nostalgia trip, but just they're not like in it like I am. So it's nice knowing people are watching and they're in it too. So leave a comment, let me know what, not your favorite Genesis games, but which one you had the happiest memory as a kid playing, if you played it as a kid. Or, you know, maybe if you just discovered Genesis, but something about a game you played at a certain time just fit everything you felt. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Good night.